My name's Tom Ratcliffe. Yes, that is rat. It's in the rodent that I most resemble. And Cliff, as in my life has fallen off a cliff lately. This is the highlight of my week. That's how tragic that is. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I didn't grow up with a lot of money, right? Didn't grow up with a great deal of money, but it was fine. Mainly because I didn't really notice. You don't when you're a kid, do you? No one in my family took much of an interest. Like, my mum realised that I qualified for free school meals 2 weeks before I left school forever. Which is a little bit annoying, isn't it? It's a little bit annoying. I mean, if we are going to talk about it, it's actually a lot annoying, because all the other men in my family are like 6'5". So I do wonder sometimes, what would I have been like if I'd had the correct nutrition? We'll never know. It's a shame you can't eat irony. It's weird, stuff happens when you're a kid. Yeah, you assume everything's normal, don't you? Because you don't know any better. And you get a little bit older, and you go, what the fuck is all that about? Is this normal? I remember this the other day, you can help me out with this. Is this normal? Is it normal for your mum to strain pasta directly into the dog's water bowl? Jury's still out, is it? That's fine. We'll move on. Sorry, you're worried about the dog. The dog was fine, absolutely fine. Lived till it was like 14. I mean, dog years. And, the vet said it was natural, albeit starch related. Things are going a bit better these days. I'm in recovery from being working class. I bought a house last year. It's quite a middle class indulgence, thank you. I don't really like talking about it, right? Because it sounds like you're boasting or showing off, especially in the current climate. I'm really not though, and I'll explain why. The house me and my partner bought, it's just outside Luton. So there are still bargains to be had in the housing market, if you're willing to compromise on location, facilities, smell, and racial harmony. Should have known it was going to be awful, right? Should have known, really, because even the postcode starts LU, as in loo, as in toilet, as in shit, as in shit up. It's also a new build, our house. It's what's known as a new build. If you're not familiar with new build homes, they've been constructed primarily from MDF and lies. I'm over it. 40-year mortgage, it's made out of cardboard. It's not all bad living in a new build, right? Well, one of the good things, probably the only good thing, in fact, is that they move you in like a road at a time, right? So you get to meet all your neighbours when you first get there, which is nice, right? Genuinely, it's really nice. When it happened to us, me and my girlfriend were unloading the car, and in his 40s, came over to say hello, we're chatting away. And at one point he goes, oh, well, of course, I've just split up with the missus, so I'll sat get one of these shitty little houses, points at my house. Thanks very much, mate. You know, we were quite excited and whatever, but it's good to have a sense of perspective, isn't it? Keep your feet firmly on the ground. The uneven ground that makes up the kitchen floor. Every new build. No, I think we're happy there, me and my girlfriend. You know, most evenings we'll just sit on the sofa and think about all the things we should have bought instead of an house. Like a telly, for one thing, we're just staring at a blank wall. No, it's alright living in Luton. It's not, obviously. You've got to try and make the most of it, haven't you? You never know, and you'll be the one who gets murdered in a chicken cottage. It's not always an easy place to live, I'm sure you can imagine, you've all had nightmares. I actually know someone who works in mental health services in Luton. That is a difficult job, right? About as difficult as they come. You know, especially when people come in and say, I'm not in a good place. You know, management said it's not actually appropriate to respond. Tell me about it, right? I only live around the corner. It's awful, yeah, awful. Affordable housing, though, that's all that matters. Speaking of mental health, I used to go to therapy. Stopped now because my therapist wanted to do one of those like ink blot Rorschach tests with me, and but instead he just showed me black and white pictures of my parents' genitals. I thought, you're disturbed, mate. I'm not going back. Luton, home of the EDL, famously. Home of the EDL. You might not be aware of this, but the EDL are actually bringing out a soft drink for adults. It's called Racial Slur. We'll move on. Step too far. I'll tell you a little bit about my family. My granddad, he died of a broken heart. Almost immediately after a bullet had passed through it. My uncle's he's a colonel in the army, and he's also a nudist. So whether I go see him at work or at home, there is a good chance I'll see his privates. No, he's not a colonel. He's in the army though, and he's killed 4 men. It's scary, isn't it? He's never even seen active service, but he packs the parachutes for the SAS. Don't think he's very good at it. My dad is a divorcee. So is my mum. Funny how things work out. It's ironic actually, because that's all they ever had in common. Ironic. Like the fact that I'm vegetarian, right? But looked like I was battery farmed. Yeah, I'm vegetarian. I know I'm not a great advert for it. I look like propaganda from the meat industry. I'm vegetarian, right? Because I think we've treated animals badly, us as a species, right? I think we treat them very badly throughout history. But even I have to admit, we have been quite creative at times, right? You might not be aware of this, but the first living thing sent into space from Earth was actually a dog called Laika, right? Soviet Union sent her up there in 1957. They sent her up there knowing full well they didn't have the capability to bring her back. So they just sent her up there to die, which I think is awful, right? I don't think that's cool at all. And I think about Laika a lot, right? And there's one thing I've realised, because I've been thinking about it so much, there's one thing I've realised that makes me feel a little bit better, right? And that is, if there is intelligent life out there in the universe beyond ourselves, there is a small but very real chance that aliens intercepted that craft and have spent the intervening 70 years trying to work out how a dog has mastered interstellar travel. That makes me feel a bit better about that. My parents are getting old, right? It's starting to freak me out a little bit. They're starting to get old. I wasn't really prepared for it. Like my dad especially seems to have just aged overnight. Like a pear. Milk. Or, I don't know if you ever let gravy go cold, it gets that horrible thick skin and you think, that is revolting. It's no wonder Mum left you. They're starting to fall apart as well, starting to fall apart a bit. I mean, my mum is epileptic. She's got the old lepsy. Which I wouldn't laugh at your mum. That's the difference. Right, I've run out of time because you keep laughing. Thank you, you've been a lot of fun. You've got a great evening ahead of you. I'm going to pass you back to your MC. Thank you!